Hey guys, Cole Campbell here.
And John Mayo.
So we had an interesting situation with the police the other day. We were in John's building, and it was us and another friend. And this woman didn't like that we weren't wearing masks, so she called the cops on us. And so what this video, which is an audio recording, goes through is the process of talking to the cops and defusing the situation, because there's a lot of tension right now. Cops don't want to be enforcing what they're being told to enforce, and we don't want to have to be, getting angry at them, especially not violent. So what we want to publish this video for is to show a way to stand up for your rights, how to not submit, and how to do it non-violently.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this video kind of illustrates it pretty well. You'll hear it yourself, and you can judge for yourself. But in the beginning, there was kind of an aggressive tone with the cops, like they were kind of threatening us with tickets and eventually with an arrest for obstruction. We kind of just had to calmly walk them through the situation, explain our rights, and it kind of explain the law a little bit, and just make sure that these interactions can be published to people to look at them and understand how they can deal with the situations as well. Because a lot of the fines that are being given out for all these COVID restrictions, financially crippling for a lot of people, and they're afraid and they don't know how to deal with them, and they just think that they need to take it on the chin. But that's not the case at all. If you know how to stand up for yourself, you can do what you want to do. You're not harming anybody with a lot of these restrictions, and you'll hear in the video how we went about it.
Yeah, and that's a really important thing is any kind of victimless crime is not a crime at all. Like, you could argue that public health is a victim, but there's really, there's a lot of falsehoods and a lot of lies there. And, regardless of what you believe, we all have the right to freedom. So this is a way to defend your freedom without causing violence and without causing bad feelings. And like there's no sides to it. It's not like us versus the police. It's like we're all on the same side. We all want the same things. We all love, we all want to love where we live in our communities. And this is a way to get through the possibilities of violence and the anger and all these emotions that are running deep. Because like John said, everybody's, a lot of us are suffering and impoverished and haven't seen our families, and everybody's angry and pissed off. And this is a way to bridge the divide. So that's what we're really all about here, is unity and educating the cops, because a lot of cops are really good people. They just don't really know that they don't have to follow these unlawful orders. And you'll see in the video, you'll understand it. It kind of goes without saying. So without further ado.
Boom. Yeah, record. Good call. Hey.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, are you?
Good.
Good.
So we got a call about you guys not wearing masks through the building. And
Yeah.
you guys got into an elevator with a woman who
Didn't appreciate it.
didn't appreciate it
Yeah,
very much.
we have medical exemptions, so yeah.
Do you have notes of all that?
No, we were not required to.
No.
No, we're not required to have notes of our personal and medical records, so
And what's the medical record for that you don't have to wear the mask?
you're not actually legally allowed to ask me that question.
Okay, but we can fine you because you got into an elevator with someone from the public, right?
So,
There's two people on an elevator at a time, even with or without a mask, you still have to keep social distance.
so if someone was uncomfortable, they would probably leave the elevator, is what my assumption would be.
What about you got in the elevator with them?
Well, wouldn't they leave if they're uncomfortable? Because I'm in the elevator with people that have masks on all the time, and nobody has an issue with it.
Well, it looked like you got in, she was in the back corner.
So would she had a dog, we're talking to the dog, and we're just like having a good time.
I don't know.
If she was uncomfortable, wouldn't she have left the elevator?
I have no idea.
If she's uncomfortable with people with medical exemptions?
I have no idea.
I don't know either, yeah.
Are the other two people here?
Hmm?
Are the other two people here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have to identify everybody.
For what reason?
Because this
Put
is
a
an
report in.
investigation right
Yeah.
now, and we're gonna put a report in. Yeah, so we
I'm
got-
not trying to be rude at all here, but it's
Yeah,
like,
so we got a complaint, right? And
Yeah.
we seen the security footage from the property manager here,
Yeah.
right? So with medical exemptions, okay, that's your thing, right?
Yeah.
But with us, it's a ticket for each and every single one of you,
Mhm.
right? So we need to identify everybody who was in that video
Mhm.
for our report going in. So in case we get another call here and you are publicly exempt from wearing a mask,
Mhm.
it's generated on a report.
So you're saying you want to investigate for a fine for,
No, anytime we're called to something, it's an investigation.
okay,
So right now, we're here investigating you getting onto an elevator without a mask on. We
Okay.
received 2 calls about it, and the tenant who was in the elevator, who didn't appreciate it, right? So you're telling us that you're publicly exempt from medically exempt from wearing masks, which is fine. We need to identify the person inside of this, and it was in the video.
Okay, so do we need to cooperate? Is there any issue with it? What happens if we don't cooperate with that investigation?
You can be arrested for obstruction.
Okay, but there's no crime committed, so there's no obstruction unless there's...
There would be, yeah.
Well, no,
Already told you.
obstruction's not a crime in itself. There has to be a crime in commission that is then being obstructed from being
I
investigated.
just told you what the crime was.
Right, there's no crime. There's a summary offense ticket that is questionable at best.
Right.
So do you believe this is the right thing to be doing right now?
That's why we're here,
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
But is it just your job, or do you actually believe it's the right thing to be doing?
It's our job.
It's our job.
Okay, so are you just following orders, or do you believe this is morally correct? Do you believe that you have a justification? Do you feel like you're doing the right thing right now?
We feel the Public Health Act is what we're doing.
Are you going to sleep well at night?
What does it have to do with it?
Well, it has everything to do with it.
Yeah.
As you follow orders, you're supposed to be following lawful orders.
Yeah, so right now we're in a pandemic, right? And somebody was uncomfortable getting onto an elevator without the three of you wearing a mask.
She probably should have left the
Or
elevator.
told us something.
Or said, I'm
Yeah,
uncomfortable with
but
this.
it's-
Can you
it's-
leave?
It's an elderly woman, right?
No, she was
No,
like
she wasn't.
she was like
She wasn't
20.
an elderly woman.
Sometimes people don't.
She wasn't an elderly woman. She was a young woman with the dog. I can go look at the camera right now.
So some people don't like the confrontation of speaking to people about that, right?
Well, that's their own
Well,
issue.
that's
We're not
your fault.
responsible for other people's feelings, right? I'm sure you agree with that. That my right to do anything, and you know the saying being, you know, my right to infringe on you. I don't have any right to infringe on you, but I can't be responsible for how you feel about, you know, whatever, right? I can't control your feelings just like you can't control mine. So that's really not. There's no crime there.
I think it would have been a little different if she said, hey guys, I'm not comfortable with you getting in this elevator right now. And we said, yeah, screw you, we're getting in. But we were literally like, oh, your dog's so cute. And like, we're like, oh, hey buddy.
Yeah,
But so I think it's a little bit different, don't you?
I mean,
Depends.
they're granted the circumstances. I wasn't in the
Three of you,
elevator,
one
right?
of her, who knows?
You
I,
know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm trying really hard to be on your side here. Like a lot of people don't like the police these days. Trying really hard, and you're
You're
making it.
reporting the conversations that really on our side.
Of course.
Yeah, of
we're
course.
recording it. Look what's going on in Canada right now. We have to record this conversation for our
Why?
safety. Because
For your safety for what?
do
You guys are here
have you
with
seen what's going on?
you
No,
guys are
but
here with
listen,
guns. Like, of course we
They're
have to
gonna
record
attack
this.
you.
Of course not. But in
That's
the
what I'm
off
saying.
chance
I'm
that-
trying
I
to be
don't
on
know,
your side here, but it's really hard when
It's
you
very
come and.
odd.
It's odd.
It's very odd.
Do you see
yeah.
what's going on around Canada right now? Do you see the crazy shit that's happening?
Like
Because
what?
I do, and we're gonna record the conversation, of course.
Like what?
Like people being ripped out of their homes, people being arrested for no reason, churches being shut down, all this like Quebec right now, like
So how does a curfew prevent a virus? Like those cops are just following orders too, right? But those are very unlawful orders.
What's
So
that?
we
A
don't,
curfew?
unfortunately, we do not create the laws. We
No,
enforce them.
of course.
Right, but
Yes.
so I've actually served
we-
in.
so
Sorry,
we-
go ahead.
We follow what we have to do, what we are obligated to do, which is follow the public health, whatever they come out with.
Yeah.
The Canadian Criminal Code, summary offense, all these things. When we get called to something like that, we have to investigate it through and through. It's kind of our obligation,
Yeah.
right? That is our obligation to do. I have to remain neutral and impartial to your opinion, her opinion, who likes the elevator, who doesn't like the elevator, right?
Mhm.
I'm here investigating a complaint, that you weren't wearing a mask on an elevator.
So do you think that some of the things that are happening right now are against our charter rights?
I remain neutral and impartial to.
Okay,
That's
so
interesting.
I actually served in the military, and the oath we take is very similar in that it says, and you have to follow lawful orders, and it is your duty to understand what is a lawful and what is an unlawful order. You know, if I was your commanding officer and I told you to go fire on a bunch of civilians, that's an unlawful order.
What? Sorry.
Say again?
No, sorry.
Fire on a bunch of
Like
civilians.
shoot people?
Yeah, like if I was your boss and I told you go shoot those people, you're not going to do it. That's an unlawful order.
Probably not gonna tell us to do that.
Right, but if I did, so this is the same sort of thing. Right now, you're infringing on our rights. We haven't done anything wrong. We haven't injured anyone. There's been no victim here. There's a girl who maybe felt uncomfortable, allegedly. She didn't say anything. She didn't communicate with us. There's also the notion that you have to act in good faith. If I have an issue with you, I'm going to tell you, right? As of right now, you know, I don't have an issue with you. Like we're having.
You don't have to tell people, right?
Well, no,
If
that's
you don't agree with someone's driving, it's probably wise not to tell them when they're behind a 2,000-pound machine to get out and tell them that you don't agree with their driving, fearful that you could get run over.
right. But there's also the
That's
notion
why
of
there's the police, right?
right. There's the notion of good faith, though. She could right now she's escalated this situation. She has you here, and there's the implied threat of violence that you guys have guns and we don't. So you know we kind of have to listen to you. And if you really dig down to what's going on right here, you know you guys are saying that we did something wrong by being in an elevator by
Place
going
where
about our
the-
business, not harming anyone. Just because this girl's afraid, it's not our responsibility. So I'm just really I'm just really trying to understand where our responsibility to you lies.
Door upstairs to here, to the elevator, says masks required.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Yeah,
apply
that's
to
fine.
people with medical exemptions.
So is it just you with the medical exemption?
Nope, we all have them.
No, it's all of us.
All
And
of
human
us?
rights exemptions as well.
What do you mean a human rights exemption?
Everybody
Well,
has a
there's two
human rights
types of
exemption.
exemptions under the law. So there's a human rights exemption and there's a medical exemption.
It's right on the site. It really is.
There was quite a heavy court case in Quebec about 4 years ago where they actually the face coverings was the issue, and it was defined that someone cannot be made to wear a face covering. So
And
this
it's
is
like-
well
it's
enshrined
like Cole
in case
said, like
law.
we're not these like defund the police type people at all. Like we're totally not like that. And
So then why wouldn't you just identify yourselves?
Well, because I don't have any
because it's a
lawful
good-
reason to.
exactly, we didn't do anything wrong.
So if you guys want to go about your investigation, like
So
by
you
all
all live
means.
here?
No, no, I do.
You do?
These
Mhm.
friends in another household, they're bubbled together.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So there's you and,
Me, friend Cole, Nelson, and then my partner Leanne.
oh, so you and your partner live here?
Me and my partner live
And
here.
then
Yes.
your two friends are here?
Yeah, from a different
Within the
household.
bubble.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
So you guys aren't gonna identify yourselves?
No.
I mean, I don't have to. And I don't think there's any law being broken by doing that. I actually know there's not any law being
So
broken. by
maybe
doing
we
that.
should just suggest the next time when you're gonna get in the elevator without a mask on, because you don't have to.
Yep.
Maybe do it when there's not other people in there,
And
right?
that's
So
fair.
if you guys wanna bubble together, maybe wait for the next elevator.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
listen, man. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
I also think it's fair to say that I'm not mad at you guys. I'm trying real hard to be on your side. There's a lot. I know there's a lot of tension within the police forces. I have friends who are former RCMP, current RCMP. I know that things aren't exactly. I know there's chaos within where you guys are at.
There's no chaos. Just have a
That-
job to do and we're here doing it.
right. That's not what I've been told, dude. And it's come on, man. Like
So
all I'm trying to say is I'm trying to be on your side. If you want to treat me like a human, I'll treat you like a human.
We are.
And well, no, you're here trying to make us. You're
When
here.
police knock on your door, it's not necessarily a pleasant thing. Like when my partner tells me that, my heart rate increases. It's not a nice thing.
And that shouldn't be the way it is.
But
like,
now, walking around the building without a mask on, you must think to yourselves, it may raise a flag with other people,
right, but that's not our
No,
responsibility
but
either.
it may come to your mind that, hey, if I walk around this building, right, someone may call on me.
I've been doing it for the last year and nothing's happened. So
No,
And,
okay.
and not only that, but like if you wanted to come knock on the door, hey, I'm officer, whatever, how you doing? Yeah, we had a complaint, but like, dude, I get the people in like it's like you're here with like an aggressive posturing, like you're asking very pointed questions.
My
Listen,
hands are in
brother.
my pocket, my hands aren't on my gun. Like,
No,
I'm
no,
just-
of course
just
not. You're not
standing
trying to
here.
shoot us, but
My partner explained to your partner when you first came up why we were here. We could have said, we're not looking to speak to you, we're looking to speak with Jonathan Mayo, whose name's on the rent, right? But she said why we were here. She says there are other people in the apartment, we're looking for 3 guys, so it's not very intimidating, it's not very scary. There's 2 of us, we ride together.
It's odd. It's
I mean-
odd to have the police. It just is. Like by
So
nature.
I respect that, right? And in regards to identifying you guys, before you guys tried to make that seem like it was for you guys getting in trouble, it's for the purpose that if we get called here, your name is on an entity screen on a report stating that you're medically exempt.
Mm.
Or if tomorrow you go lay a complaint against us, we're gonna say, we don't know. That
We're-
person
we're-
wasn't there.
I can promise you we're not going to lay a complaint.
But I'm just saying,
I'm
right?
just
I know,
saying,
I
right?
know.
So the purpose of identifying you wasn't for me to go run with your ID to issue you a ticket.
Yeah, but
It's-
you already know who I am because you looked on the cameras and got my rent information. 'Cause
We know
said-
who you are, we don't know
Yeah.
the other
We don't
people.
know.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna decline
But
to
the-
identify myself
yeah.
just because I don't need to, and I don't really like. It's you guys can do your job. That's fine.
Yeah,
it's
of
none of my
course.
business.
So
So
the point of
I'm not a
providing
party to this, and I don't wish to be.
is for the fact that we can put your entity on a report. So if something was to see this, it already shows up when we get dispatched here. The 2 cops were here to speaking to you already. This was the end result.
Mm.
That
And the
was-
next time it could be a phone call, right?
Mm.
instead
It
of
could be a
us
phone
having
call, hey
to-
Jonathan, another person called, just letting you know, we've told them what it is,
Mm.
and we're on our way.
Yeah, that's fine. I really don't think anybody should be, accosted in this way. So I'm just not gonna opt into that system. So I'm not gonna put my name in there. I'm
That's
not going to, file a complaint or be part of your report. That's fine. I don't think anybody should be being questioned about whether they're wearing a face mask or not. We live in a country that's allegedly a free country, and I intend to keep it that way. And I'm not gonna play this game with anyone. And no offense to you two. I'm going to assume you two are good people, but I don't trust the police system at all. So
Yeah.
you guys are great, but the uniform you're wearing, unfortunately, I can't trust the organization behind it. So
Yeah, that's,
Up to you.
you're entitled to your opinion, right? I can't.
yeah, no,
I
I'm
can't.
just trying to say, like, you two have shown me, you know, apart from being a little aggressive when you showed up, you two have shown me that haven't shown me anything that would indicate you're bad people. So I can only assume you're good people. But yeah, no, I'm going to have to decline your offer.
All right, thanks.
Thanks so much.
So maybe next time just don't be in an elevator with someone.
Yeah, fair enough. Have a good one.
Thanks,
See you guys later. You too. Wow, you're a master.
Done that once or twice. Dude, you killed that.
Okay. So there you have it, the audio recording of the interaction. And I think there's a couple things about it that are troubling to me. One of them is that if that interaction had happened and we weren't armed with the knowledge of the law and of our rights, we could have just got trampled all over. We could have been fined. We even could have been arrested, as you heard the cops say, for obstruction. If we didn't know our shit, that could have gone very, very differently. And I feel super bad for a lot of people around the province being fined for these arbitrary restrictions, and they just don't know, they're not confident. And we just basically want to help people get through that so that they can stand up for themselves and like fight for their freedom. And I think every cop in the world should know more about the Nuremberg trials, and that should be common knowledge. And a lot of these people, they don't know history, and they're not aware of what just following orders, where that can take them. And you heard the cop in the video say, you know, do you think it's the right thing? We asked them, and they said, we're just following orders. And historically, that doesn't lead to a good place.
No, and it's really interesting. Yeah, what John said about obstruction is like, take that back. So we live in Nova Scotia in Canada, and there was a stat that came out that there have been, I don't know, a couple thousand tickets given out for, you know, silly COVID things that aren't actually crimes. And 90 of those tickets, of those 1,000-some tickets, were paid, but they were all paid voluntarily. Nobody took it to court, because if that goes to court, it just gets thrown out if you have any idea what you're talking about. But what we've learned, you know, talking to business owners and just like average people, is they don't know that they're allowed to stand up to the government. They don't know that they think the government is God, in a sense that whatever they say, we just have to follow and we have no choice. Oh, we elected them 4 years ago, so we got to do what they say. But this, you know, it's really an interaction to interaction process where every interaction you have to decide what's right and wrong. And sometimes you do have to stand up for yourself, just like we did. And, you know, eventually what happens is, as we educate these cops who don't want to be doing this anyway, who want to be on our side, who are on our side, eventually, as more and more of these interactions happen, as more and more people become aware of the power they have, then the situation just changes, and you know, cops stop enforcing this. Look at what's going on in Ontario and Canada. Look at what happened in Florida, you know, months ago. Like, all the restrictions just kind of went away because people realized that it wasn't the right thing to do. So some places it's a little bit harder to get to that point, but we just need to keep pushing, and keep pushing in a way that's loving and helps educate people instead of trying to, you know, shame them and denigrate them.
For sure. And you mentioned Florida, and it's very funny because we're going to give a little bit of context about that audio recording. We were actually on the phone with an immigration lawyer from the States talking about the ways that we could potentially move to the States to escape the communism that is now infiltrating Canada. And it gives it a movie-like quality because we're on the phone with this lawyer, and then bang, 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 knock on the door. Oh, we got to call you back. The cops are literally at the door. And she was just mind blown because she didn't realize it was that bad.
She was kind of like, haha, very funny. Like, she didn't really believe us. And we were like, no, like the cops are here. Like, they're trying to arrest us. Like, we need to let you go. And she was like, oh, like, it was surreal. It was surreal.
It was very surreal. It's odd to even think about. But basically, we want to share this video around. So if you have any influencers that you follow that are very pro-truth, let's get that out to them. Let's spread this far and wide, and just to show people that, you know, like Cole said in the intro, we're not anti-cop. We're not defund the police. We need unity, right? Like, these restrictions and these arbitrary law or regulations they're coming from above, right? It's not the cops. They're just enforcing it. They probably hate it. They probably hate their jobs more than they already did, because, you know, a lot of times they're dealing with unruly public. It's a very difficult job. Like, being a police officer, I have an uncle who's an ex-cop. It's a super difficult job on a good day, right? And like, this is not making it any easier. So we need to figure out ways that we can work with the police.
No, it's all about unity. So yeah, we don't gain anything from sharing this. I mean, we do gain a ton. We gain getting our country back and getting our communities back. So our goal here is just to, really to save our country, and to, a lot of people are suffering. Suicides are through the roof. People aren't able to see their families. They're not able to go to work. There's all kinds of really weird stuff happening because the government thinks they can get away with it. So we're really just here to say, like, hey, we're all on the same team. Maybe some people made a couple mistakes. We're just we're just here to defend our freedom in the most nonviolent ways possible, to prevent, as people get more and more distressed and impoverished, and, family members kill themselves and things like this, then that does start to lead to violence. So we're trying to prevent that before that happens. So by standing up for our rights in fair and honest and truthful and loving ways. So share this with as many people as you can. And if you have any questions, let us know, because we've been studying this stuff for a while now. And it's all very simple stuff, but it's also new that it's really hard to kind of wrap your head around it. So if you need any help to understand kind of what happened in the video, if you have any questions, feel free to contact either of us. I'm contactcolecampbell on Instagram.
You can reach me on Instagram, Mayo_bros_calisthenics. And yeah, I mean, for me, I've been studying this for a while, but this was my first interaction ever with the police. I haven't been pulled over. I don't have any tickets or anything like that. Like, this is, and for me, like you said, it is simple. It is very simple. You just need to know, you need to be confident in what you know and the law and your human rights. And you just need to stand firm in that. And the situation just diffuses. Like, it was very wild to watch the police in this interaction go from like very aggressive and confrontational to like, oh, these guys know what they're talking about. Like this, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.